final Tune of the Week edition, number 10. And it's another wonderful Charlie Parker original from the mid-40s called Anthropology. And it's another one I learned early on. Rhythm changes. Hey, nothing better with a rhythm bridge. And I decided to try to take a up-tempo a little bit. This would not be considered a fast tune by any standards, but it's faster than it sounds and not as easy to play and improvise and be really creative at these tempos. So let's talk a little bit about what it takes. You can see by just 2 choruses into this thing, man, that rhythm section is already starting to crank it up pretty good. So the trick is to don't charge in like you're gonna run a 100-yard dash to the goal line. Start with something simple, establish that time feel. I always like it's a good place to use some quotes. Let's fall in love. Or whatever you can think of, and you know, tiptoe in with maybe a couple of 8th notes, some syncopate, but getting that time thing in your head and get your body working. Then you can start kind of stretching out a little bit. But when you start tackling these 8th notes, first of all, you have to have some way to articulate these 8th notes. And this is where, again, my doodle tongue practice, I'll do a tiny bit of that for you to show you how I work with that. And, man, it's dynamite and effective. And I don't know how saxophone players do it, but they got their own thing. But for a brass player, hey, you know, it's nothing better. Now you can see, man, those 8th notes are moving right along, you know, at that tempo. It's not like screaming, but it's fast enough to, you know, to take it seriously. And if you don't have some kind of technique, and if you can't play and articulate and have some way to even those 8th notes out, then you're never going to sound like much. And you have to work, and you can isolate this stuff like I do. If I live long enough, I'm going to get that doodle tongue to where I can pop it out. I just started about a year or so ago to really get serious. Now, the other thing is, what about poor, you know, like triplets? I'm going to give you a little example of how I work on some of those. just even at this tempo, I mean, those are real notes. Every one of these things you play, all of that stuff, those are real notes, and they have to be popped out. You just can't be blah, 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 which is what I hear so often when, you know, pretty good players, they think, start cranking on this stuff at this tempo, man. It's, you know, it's technique. That's what it's all about. And building the technique to play at this tempo is shed time city. Just, you got to get in there and work on this stuff. And it goes back a long way to, you know, how much time you spent working through your basic, you know, method books. Anyhow, all right, that's it. I mean, you know, other than vocabulary, I have a whole new series that you need to check out. It's 10 lessons that introduce vocabulary for the rhythm changes. There's 10 steps. It's a whole progression, and it's going to be in our new canteen, so you'll be able to buy the whole series and download it pretty soon. And hey, that's it. You know, check it out. All right, here's a little more up tempo. This is Jamie's rhythm changes on this volume 6. I think it's Thriving from a Riff, he calls it, which is the other Anthropology. All right. See you around. Enjoy this. Hope you got something out of all these Tune of the Week editions. All right. Bye.